Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Pat the Dentist here, and what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is how to get the perfect letter of recommendation from your undergrad faculty. So when you apply to dental school, not even just dental school, medical school or whatever, how to have a letter of rec from a faculty member that is unbelievable. So basically, here are a few quick things you guys got to keep in mind. You really got to perform well in that class first and foremost, right? That's plain obvious, but here are a few things you can do to kind of ensure that your faculty that you're kind of seeking that letter of rec from really knows who you are. So I would highly suggest you sit in the front row of every single class. Doesn't matter if it's 8 a.m. class, 3 p.m. class, or whatever. Sit in the front row, make sure they know that you're there. Also, something super important is to be going to office hours. That's a must, right? But when you're in office hours, obviously you're going to be talking to them about the class, but don't just talk to them about the class. Get to know them as a person, because obviously faculty, professors, they're people as well. They have interests aside from just teaching you whatever subject they're teaching you. So really get to know them, build some rapport, and build a personal connection with them so they have something a little bit more to write about instead of just the class, where they can actually write about your character as well. But here's the super important thing. This is the thing that is going to set you apart from everyone else, because I got two letters of recs from faculty members or professors, whatever you want to call them. One being a class that I got an A in, and another class that I got a B in. But the B class that I got a letter of recommendation from was actually something that kind of blew my mind, in the sense of when I went on these dental school interviews, one of the programs I interviewed at, they actually said they're amazed at a letter of recommendation they got from my chemistry professor, and I knew that was the class that I had gotten a B in. So this is the thing that you can totally do that's going to set you apart from everyone else when it comes to asking for a letter of recommendation. So what I did was, at the end of the class, after I took the final, I wrote a thank you note to the professor, and I slid it under their door. Obviously, I went to their office to see if they were there, so I can hand it to them in person, but if they're not there, I slid it under the door. So you may ask, oh, why? Why would you do something like that? That's being a suck-up or whatever, you know? Whatever. Call it whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's going to set you apart because people like to be appreciated. So you write in the thank you note how you actually appreciated them as a professor. Pick out something that you noticed that they did differently than other professors in the course, and kind of highlight that, and how you really appreciated the effort the professor put into the course, how you feel that they really have a passion for teaching, and how they really strive to ensure that their students learn. And at the end, obviously, sign your name. But what I also did was I put my email address at the end after I signed my name. And so that kind of serves a purpose, because most times when I did that, and I did this for every single course that I took, like going into my third year in undergrad, it kind of just clicked for me, and I realized I have to be doing this. And so they always would email me back and say, oh wow, Patrick, I love the letter that you wrote me, the thank you card that you wrote me. Like I can't believe that somebody actually wrote something like this. And every single professor without fail would write me back over the break when they actually had the time to kind of review things and read things and all that stuff, you know? And so at that moment was when I asked if I could actually get a letter of recommendation from them. And some of them would say, oh yeah, absolutely, come by my office, we'll talk a little bit more. And that was that, you know? And so you got to really realize that these thank you cards go a long way, because think about it for yourself. It's all about appreciation. Like, why would you not want to be appreciated? Everybody loves to be appreciated. So for whatever it is that you do, something small, something big, if somebody goes out of their way to say thank you or you made a difference, you're going to remember that for the rest of your life. And at the same time, most people are not doing this. Most students are not doing this in terms of writing thank you cards for their professors. So when you do something like this, it's going to set you apart. And lots of times you have to be competing against other students for letters of rec. Like at my school, you have some professors where 200 people would be asking for a letter of rec. They're not going to be writing a letter of recommendation for 200 people. It takes way too much time. So Once again, this is a great way to separate yourself and also to ensure that you have some character, that the professor has something else to write about, not just about your performance in the class, but you as a person. And that's what they're really, these dental school programs, medical school programs, you name it, what they're really, really looking for in these letters of rec are you as a person, your character. So keep that in mind, guys. I hope this helped out. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, and let me know if this helped you guys as well. And please hit subscribe, like this video as well. There's going to be tons more coming out, and you guys are awesome. You guys make this all possible.